Hey everyone, Blockchain Bernie here. My latest update on the Camino airdrop and my $38,000 that I put into Camino in order to earn some yield and in order to earn some points for the upcoming airdrop. And the airdrop snapshot is announced to be March 31st. So time of recording is March 25th. So we're not really there yet. But we're more than halfway through, and I gave you in my other video right here a little insight on how I put my $38,000 in there. And it was basically, if we remember correctly, it was this here, right? So I put, some money into. Well, right now I only have the borrow lend. So I lent Sol to that platform. It's been, a lot of Sol here. It's worth $76,000 now. And that's due to the rise in the Sol price, and it's also due to some interest and trading fees that I earned in the liquidity pool that I invested in. But I got out of that, right? I'm only to the borrow lend here, right? And I was in the liquidity thing here. So let's click on liquidity, and I did the JUP Sol, this one here, right? It's now listed with an APY of 111%. When I was in there for about a week, it was about 240%. And I really got those, right? I didn't stay in there for the whole year, right? So, but I had it in there for about a week or a little bit more than a week, and it was only like $20,000, and it earned me like $400 in fees. So that was awesome. But here's the thing. As with all these liquidity providing, you can have something that's called impermanent loss, right? And as I mentioned, oftentimes it's called impermanent loss, but it can turn out to be quite permanent. And that's when the prices of the two tokens that you provide liquidity for me, it was JUP and Sol. So I had a lot of JUP tokens from the Jupiter airdrop, 9,500 JUP, and I balance it with some Sol. And then, I earned the 240% in APY. But that's only given the prices of the two tokens will go in unison, right? If one is, exploding and the other one stays there, stuff like that, the amount of tokens that you've provided, it will, in my case, when I was in there, the Jupiter token was, going like crazy, right? And all the Jupiter tokens got sold because everyone wanted to get into Jupiter, and I provided the liquidity. So I gave them the Jupiter that they wanted. And then I was down to like, 300, 400 Jupiter tokens out of the 9,500 that I gave them. And then that was all converted into Sol, but the Sol didn't appreciate that much in price during that week when I was in there than the Jupiter token. And then something phenomenal happened to me, right? It just reversed, and Sol took off in the last 1 or 2 days when I was in there. And I was back to the 9,500 Jupiter tokens that I put in. And I thought, well, that's a great opportunity for me to get out again, right? And I collected all these points, the points for the Camino airdrop during that time. But I got out of that liquidity providing, right? With, $400 in trading fees and the price appreciation in the Jupiter token, as well as the Sol token that I put in there. So it was a success, but it could have gone the other way, right? So this whole liquidity providing, to me, Yeah, it is tough, right? I mean, it's tough to figure out what token to invest in, what coin to invest in. And I'm a long-term investor. I don't really like gambling. And, there's nothing wrong with gambling, right? You can gamble if you want, or anyone can gamble. I just, even though I live in Las Vegas now, but I don't do it. I really don't do it because I feel like with investing and figuring out what will rise long term, and not trying to time the market, not trying to kind of read some technical signals and stuff like that. I'm more like, is it undervalued, and will it go up in price? Does it have a crazy growth in front of it, right? And I'm more of a growth investor than a value investor, because when there's growth, the price will go up. It's as simple as that, right? And I see some growth, and recently I'm a big fan of the Nvidia stock. I think it's still cheap. It's a big bet for me outside of the crypto world, and I love Sol. I think it has a very, very bright future, and it has great utility, and there will be so many exciting projects, including our own, the Xandeum scalable storage layer. So if you don't know what that is, link in the description, Xandeum.com. Find out everything about us. So yeah, I did that with the tokens here on Camino. I got out of liquidity providing at some point with a profit, as I said, but I doubled down on the borrow lend here, and I'm lending them my Sol, right? So that's in my portfolio here. When I click here, I have these $76,000 in Sol here. That's almost in for a week or so. I only earned $10 in interest, which is crazy, crazy low. So the interest for lending them Sol went down because so many people are doing it, I feel. But I hope, really, really hope, and I don't know, right? So this is just a game here to see what happens, right? I hope with all the points that I'm earning here, and I already have 3.3 million points here with Camino. But if you go to the leaderboard, you will see that I'm positioned several thousand here. So this is by no means in the top anywhere. And I just put in here 76,000. I didn't put in 760,000 or 7.6 million or anything. I just limited it to a certain degree here just to test it out, and just to be able to report back to you guys, how did it turn out, right? They will take their snapshot on March 31st, and I will let you know how it turned out for me, and how many tokens they will airdrop me, and see the price of the token, and hopefully, the APY that I'm missing here on the Sol, right? I could easily get 8 point something APY, percent APY, if I would just stake it to our own validator, right? The Xandeum validator, one of the best Solana validators to stake to. So if you have some Sol and you haven't staked it, you should stake it immediately, because you're leaving money on the table. You're not risking your Sol when you stake it, right? It's all secured by the Solana blockchain. But if you go to Xandeum.com, again, link in the description, there is a big link on our website where you can stake your Sol. And we're one of the most trustworthy validators out there. And, I would be psyched if you chose us to stake your Sol with. So here's the thing: I could earn 8 point something percent APY just by staking to my own validator. But some of my Sol, I just put it into Camino just to test out how does it work with the points. How many tokens will I get with these points, and what is the token price going to be? 3.3 million points here already. Yeah, it's probably going to be above 5 million by March 31st, I guess. And then let's see how many tokens they will airdrop me. If anyone has done the math, so you can go to the leaderboard here, to the Camino leaderboard. You see, you have some blockchain statistics there on, how many points other people are collecting and stuff like that. If anyone wants to do the math and, give me an estimate with my 5 million, maybe 7 million points that I might have on March 31st, how many tokens will I get in the airdrop? We can probably do the math there and figure that out. So if anyone feels competent doing that, let me just know in the comments, right? It would be great to know how many tokens likely I will get airdropped. And also let me know, are you doing something on Camino? Are you farming your points in order to get the maximum with the upcoming Camino airdrop? I'm super excited about airdrops in general on Solana, and I've made great experiences with the Jupiter airdrop and especially with the Cheeto airdrop. Thanks again, everyone from the Cheeto team, Buffalo, and everyone for that airdrop. That was awesome. And let's see how the Camino airdrop develops. So this was my kind of halftime update for my Camino airdrop. I would ask you for a quick favor. Please destroy that like button. It would really, really help me. Hitting the like button earns you points for Xandeum, and leaving a comment earns you points for Xandeum. Go to points.xandeum.org. Link is also down in the description to collect your points for our points program. All right, for today, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Peace.